Hey, this dude's a furry!
Dang, how could you tell? Yes, I indeed have a heightened interest in anthropomorphic animals. And as one does when they're in a fandom, just in general, not exclusive to this one, I have commissioned my fair share of art over the years. Look, you don't know true self-care until you have a whole arsenal of pictures of your Sona showing off their muscles for some eye candy after a rough day. You just don't. Not all of the pieces I've commissioned are like this, though.
Why don't you prove it then, mister I'm thirsty for my own Sona?
You know what? I shall. Let's go through the art that I've commissioned up to now. Some pictures I will need to omit, because while they're not full-blown not safe for work, at the same time, they're a little too spicy for YouTube, but there's still plenty for us to talk about here. So, without further ado, let's start off with where it all began. Here is Thunder's reference sheet. This is the one piece out of all of them in this video where I can remember the time frame when I would have commissioned this. This would have been in 2020 or 2021, because I specifically remember being a freshman in college in my dorm room at this time. I have a specific memory of being in my dorm room by myself too, because I got lucky and had a 2-person dorm room all to myself because of COVID, talking with the artist for Thunder's reference sheet and a lot of the commissions you'll see in this video, Hey Fizzy J. This is the perfect point for me to bring up my Sona's lore. Yes, even though I rarely talk about it, he has lore, and it ties into why I went with him making a wolf-fox hybrid. Thunder is the leader of a special operations fighter squadron, Kitsune Squadron. Trained to fly the latest and greatest in aviation war machines, Thunder and his squadron could be deployed on any kind of operation. Anything from your typical close air support to operations behind enemy lines that don't exist. Think Ace Combat when you imagine how aerial warfare in Thunder's universe is done. When thinking about this, I deliberately chose both a wolf and a fox to fulfill that role. Wolves to me are the perfect animal to represent not only leading a pack, but being a leader in general. And foxes to me are the perfect animal to represent being cunning and tricky. As an Air Force pilot, Thunder has to lead his squadron, and being a special operations pilot taking on unconventional missions requires even more outside the box thinking to outsmart his enemies. And with Thunder and his team all flying stealthy 5th generation aircraft like the F-22, FB-22, F-35, etc., I think it matches with being cunning and tricky for things like surprise raids and such. But where he and I differ is that he's way more sure of himself, way smarter than I could ever hope to be, and he's willing to take that leap and let someone become his significant other in life. Basically, Thunder represents a more idealized version of myself in a number of ways. Now, I know some people may hear that and think, that doesn't sound healthy. Won't you eventually grow to hate your Sona since you may be inadvertently comparing yourself to him? And I've thought about that before, but for me, I don't think I could ever hate my Sona. It's not like I'm trying to create an exact duplicate of my Sona's life IRL or anything like that. For reference, I'm considering a career as a firefighter / EMT and maybe trying to join the Air Force Reserves as a pararescue jumper. Emphasis on maybe. As much as I love flying in military aviation, I don't think I'd make for a great pilot simply because of all the math that goes into everything. But yeah, there's Thunder's reference sheet. I know I went on a bit of a tangent there, but I felt like giving context for his species was important to talk about. Here's where I forget the exact order in which the commissions came. I have a general idea of when I commissioned these artworks, but I may flip-flop the exact order here and there. Anyway, the next one I want to show off is Thunder standing tall and proud. What I've had as my profile picture for years at this point. I love this picture. When I get my partial this year, this is the fit that I'll be recreating for the fursuit pictures I'll be taking. Once more drawn by Hey Fizzy J, I love the confident energy that Thunder gives in this picture. A sort of ready to take on whatever is thrown at him kind of vibe. Is it obvious who my go-to artist is yet? Another one drawn by Hey Fizzy J, Thunder is a mercenary ready for battle here. If you got the money, we got the firepower. I got the inspiration for this picture from the Shadow Company skins in Modern Warfare 2019. For as much as I think the game's multiplayer is the worst out of the entire franchise, I will give the game some credit where it's due and say that I appreciate that the operator skins were all grounded in reality. And I also really appreciate that we got Shadow Company skins specifically. I am an absolute Shadow Company simp. Their gear, their vibes, their attitude, like how and where do I sign up?
Now are we good to get some? Yeah. Say we good to get some? Yeah. All right, let's get locked and loaded.
Battleship, the 2012 first-person shooter based on the movie of the same name, is a terrible game. But it's also a guilty pleasure game that I low-key enjoy. I like the aspect of strategizing and coordinating naval ships while also being infantry on the ground. It's not true real-time strategy, as the action is paused whenever you go to give orders to the ships, and the rest of the game is, once again, bad. But I see the potential. So, when I came across Zusterix's Twitter page and saw that they specialize in military stuff, I sent a DM for a commission. The end result? this amazing piece. What I especially love is the background. When I sent in all the details and reference images, I also included a rough sketch of the pose that I wanted. Emphasis on the rough part. I wasn't and still am not a good artist. And before anyone asks, no, I'm not showing it. It's like stick figure kindergarten levels of a drawing. I felt a little embarrassed sending it to Zusterix, but visual sketches are infinitely better than an essay explaining what should go into a commission. The sketch had Thunder sitting behind a crate using the device that you pull out whenever you're wanting to give orders to your ships while the battleship USS Missouri is passing by. So imagine my surprise when Zusterix goes,
I'm gonna do what's called a pro gamer move,
and sends me this. Not only do we have the USS Missouri in the background, but Zusterix went out of their way to add 2 alien ships smoking and sinking, and the alien turret that shows up in a couple of the missions in the game as well in the corner here. I was amazed when I first received this, and I am still amazed to this day. Zusterix outdid themselves here. Have you ever had one of those nights where for some reason your body just refuses to let you fall asleep? You spend the next hour to 2 hours just laying in bed, trying to fall asleep, growing more impatient and upset because you have things to do tomorrow, and because your mind decided to play your top 10 cringiest mistakes in life director's cut on repeat for 5 times, you only get 4 to 5 hours of sleep? That's what inspired this commission, done by Hey Fizzy J. Thunder had one of those sleepless nights here, and here he is getting some coffee to have a bit of a pick-me-up for the morning. Also, that little opening of the robes where his pecs are showing.
Yeah, boy.
Battlefield 2042. This game. This damn game. For those of you who don't know, Battlefield 2042 is, in my eyes, the worst Battlefield title, a complete betrayal of what the series stood for in the pursuit of chasing trends. My hatred for this game is also fueled by the fact that I was legitimately excited during the build-up to its launch. I was so excited that I commissioned this piece of Thunder being the soldier in one of the covers for the game. Now let me be clear. The piece that Zusterix did here is amazing. The attention to detail in particular is incredible. My thoughts on 2042 have no influence on my thoughts about this commission. You know what's funny though? I forget what I said exactly because I don't feel like scrolling down Zusterix's Twitter for half an hour to find the specific post in my reply to it. But when Zusterix posted my commission when it was done, I commented something to the effect of, the game is fun so far. I was legitimately going through the 5 stages of grief beginning with denial at that moment. Again though, Zusterix did an awesome job with the commission. Fun fact about me, I'm bi. When Hey Fizzy J was doing Pride Icon commissions for June however many years back by now, aka Pride Month, I went ahead and grabbed myself one. If it wasn't obvious already, I do have a big lean towards guys, but damn do I love muscular women too. Like if someone wanted to, you know, like use me as a punching bag or something. Yeah, I'm just saying. Time for us to pivot from commissions of Thunder to commissions of someone that I've never shown on this channel before. Dustin, a black and gray furred feline, a Siamese to be exact. Regarding the lore of Thunder being an Air Force pilot, Dustin is the second pilot in Kitsune Squadron. Dustin and Thunder met when they both first began their journey in one of their country's Air Force academies, country name still being determined. During their journey, the two become very close. So close that by the time the two graduate from the academy, Dustin and Thunder are wingmen for each other in more ways than one. Whereas Thunder being a wolf-fox hybrid was a deliberate choice on my part, Dustin being a Siamese was just a random decision. Who doesn't love some comfy gaming on their bed? Something about gaming while laying in bed hits different. Blankets over you, head resting on a pillow, gaming device in hand. Good times. And that's what Dustin is doing here, gaming on his Nintendo Switch, which is strange for me to say. Not because of the firestorm surrounding the Switch 2 right now, but because if I were to commission this today, I would specify that Dustin is playing on a Steam Deck. Oh, and there's also a shirtless alt because a man with his shirt off makes my brain go,
Yeah, boy.
Looking at this picture again, I really need to give Dustin some more love because Fizzy Dog did an amazing job here. This is one of those commissions where I was just in the mood for something casual and laid back. Nothing in particular inspired this commission. I was just like, hey, I want to see Dustin relaxed and happy. Also, for those of you who noticed, yes, Dustin likes Star Fox. Alright, let's talk about an actually good Battlefield game this time around. I played Battlefield 3 a ton as a preteen / early teenager on the Xbox 360, which was still fun, but nowhere close to what the PC version could provide. Because of the fond memories that I have of this game, that's what drove me to reach out to Zusterix and commission this piece. Thunder dressed in the US assault gear minus the helmet with a stock M16A3, complete with the Battlefield 3 blue mist and all. Which reminds me, I should commission a Battlefield 4 themed piece sometime soon. Even though I love Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 is my personal favorite out of the whole franchise. Look, if you make yourself some kind of persona and you don't draw or commission some artwork of them showing off the goods they got, are you really using them to the fullest? A while back, Hey Fizzy J had a showing off and flexing YCH up, and you bet I had to get one of Thunder showing off the goods. I think the YCH speaks for itself here. Abs, check. Pecs, check. Arms, check. Smirk, Check. He's got it all. As a final honorable mention for the end of the video, here are some of the poses and emotes that I use on Twitch. The majority of them shown here are made by HeyFizzyJ, though 2 of them are made by different people. NeverBePrez04 and Rigzeria, both over on Twitch, made some boy kisser emotes as gifts for me, which was really sweet of them. And that's all for the video. Though, I do have a number of more pieces that I've commissioned over the years that I didn't include in this video, since, like I said at the start, they're a little too spicy for YouTube. I know this was different from the content that I normally make, but truthfully, I've been wanting to do something like this for a while now. Whenever I get more commissions down the road, I'll probably make another video about whatever cons I've gotten then. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and peace out.